I remember back when I was a teenager, I started going to the gym because I wanted to build an aesthetic physique and get into killer shape. And I first started off by looking at a bunch of celebrity training programs like Chris Hemsworth, Michael B. Jordan, and The Rock's 5,000 calorie meal plan. In hindsight, looking back at it, a lot of these articles were either complete lies or just heavily exaggerated, because something along the lines of 5,000 bulking diet is a lot more appealing and clickbaity than 2,400 calorie breakfast, lunch, dinner meal plan. And the things you need to get in shape as a teenager are either very basic and fundamental that are not really exciting or worth pointing out to get views, or the things you already know. But in this video, I'm going to give you the 7 steps that if I could go back in time, I would tell my teenage self to do that would have gotten me into killer shape within a year or 2. Firstly, train every day if you can. And I know this goes against so many fitness influencers' advice of, oh, train 3 to 5 times a week. So life is all about recovery. And don't get me wrong, if you cannot train every single day because of school or you lack discipline, then fair enough. But if you have time and you are able to train every day, then you 100% should. And the common argument against this is, oh, muscles need time to recover. Okay, let's say one day you do chest. Don't train chest for the next 2 days and then train them again. For example, let's say your routine is, top of my head, chest, then you do legs, back, then shoulders, then core. Okay, those muscles, your chest and your legs, okay, then they can start get trained again the next 2 days because they've had 3 to 4 days to recover. And when you put it like that, it makes sense. Those parts are now recovered, they can be trained again. So training every day will all it will do is accelerate your growth. And compare yourself, let's say you train 4 to 5 times a week against someone who trains every single day. Then eventually, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, that person who trained daily will be in so much better shape than you because they've basically trained almost double the amount that you did. So if you're able to train every day, if you're worried about recovery and you feel like you need it mentally, then of course take a day off. But don't think you can't train or you shouldn't train every day just because some fitness influencers told you that you shouldn't. Start going to the gym with a committed friend or just go by yourself. You see, when going to the gym, if you have a friend who's already been going for a month or 2, or a friend who just wants to start going and they're committed and they're about it, then that's incredible. You know, you can both go together, become gym bros, you can hype each other up. When you're together, you kind of have that peer pressure to perform because you don't want to be lacking, a bit of friendly competition going on. You're kind of growing at the same time and you're kind of bonding as well, and it becomes a lot more enjoyable. And if you have that, then absolutely, because later down the line, for example, for me, whenever I go to the gym with someone, it always turns into me coaching them because I've been going to the gym for 7 to 8 years now. And whenever I go with someone, they're usually either just starting out or they've been going maybe for a year or 2. So it pretty much turns to me walking them through my workouts. And obviously it's fine, like usually if I go with someone, I'll be a friend of mine and enjoy spending time with them anyways. But if you go with someone at the same level as you get that benefit of it becomes a lot more enjoyable of you two bonding, while also getting your workouts done and improving each other's performance. But there is a little asterisk with that, because if you go with a friend who's not committed, odds are they're gonna drag you down. Everyone heard the saying of you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and that's true. So if you're a friend, they're just going, they're like, I was doing some 1-2 bicep curls, let's go home, that's just too hard. Then odds are that friend is gonna stop going, and then they're gonna influence you to stop going as well. Or they're just gonna, make your workout a lot less effective because they're not giving 100%, so that kind of makes you not want to give 100% either. It takes away that friendly competition. So it's important, if you're gonna go with someone who's also committed, or just go by yourself. I know it can be boring and hard at first, but you get used to it really fast. After a month or 2, you easily get used to it. Number 3, when you start going to the gym, for the first 2 to 3 months, ignore dieting completely. Just don't even think about it. You see, a lot of people, when they first start going, they just go, okay, I'm gonna get the right kit. Okay, I'm gonna make my workout program. I'm gonna make my diet, and they just sort of just overwhelm themselves with all this information. Like, imagine someone trying to learn Fortnite, and they ask their friend who's a pro, and the friend tells them, okay, if someone comes at you from this angle, make sure you block and build this kind of fort. Someone chooses you, and if you're doing a 1v4, do all this. You'd be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, no, you wouldn't do that. You would first start them off by, okay, R1 is to build, circle is to shoot, walking through the absolute basics, and then you show, okay, this is how you build, this is how you do 90s, etc. So the gym, exact same thing. Have like a simple routine, follow it for a month or 2, get it down, build the habit. Okay, I know how to train, I know how to do these 5 to 10 exercises. I can now train by myself. Cool. Next step, I'll focus on dieting. So it's all about progressive overload, not just physically, but mentally, in terms of information as well. Because this is a huge mistake I made, and it held me back for so many years, because I would try to incorporate way too many things at once, and I would just get overwhelmed, get bored, stop going, get burnt out. This gym shit is fucking stupid anyway, I shouldn't go. It's fucking men going their own way. I was like, who cares? But obviously then in hindsight, like, if I just slowed down and focused on one thing at a time, and then progressively overloaded the information that I learned and taught myself, then I would have made progress so much faster. So remember this, for the first month or two, if you just starting out, focus on just getting the routine down, then start dieting. However though, even though dieting should not be a focus or a priority at all at the beginning, the one thing that you should keep in mind even now is make sure you hit your daily protein intake. That's the singular thing you have to keep in mind. And the good way to do that is just to buy some protein shakes. They're very convenient, and the amount you take is roughly 0.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. Now, this next tip is more if your goal is to get big as soon as possible, because I know a lot of teenagers have the goal, at least I did back in the day, of okay, I want to get big by the next school year. And if that's your focus, then when going to the gym, ignore compound movements and focus more on resistance machines. So compound movements are things like bench, squat.
What do you think he's listening to?
Deadlift, and the reason for that is these movements take a long time to learn, and for doing bench or deadlift or squats, for the first month or so, even the first 2 months, it takes a while to get the form down right. You're increasing your rates of injury, it takes a while for you to get the proper mind-muscle connection and get to a point where it's optimal for building muscle. But if your goal is to get big ASAP, then focus on doing But if your goal is to get big as fast as possible, then focus on doing a lot of resistance machines, because what will happen then, those machines require little to no form, because you're locked in place. It's almost impossible to have bad form. So when doing them, you can put all your focus on just putting the tension, on getting the heaviest weight possible, on building muscle, rather than learning how to do it, learning the form, learning how to contract muscles properly, etc. So the system becomes a lot more automated, if that makes sense. So again, this is only if your goal is to get big ASAP, because things like squats is phenomenal for building lower body strength and lower body muscle, and bench press, in my opinion at least, not the best exercise for building muscle, because you can easily isolate your chest, shoulders and triceps by doing other exercises. But some people enjoy doing it because they like to do powerlifting and building strength, but building strength is different than building muscle. But it's a whole other video. But to put it short, if your goal is to get big by the next school year, just start by focusing on resistance machines, and then maybe a year later you can start focusing on adding more compound movements. Now, this next one is a mistake I see so many beginners doing, which is make sure you focus on tension, not weight. You see, when you want to build muscle, you need to focus on time under tension rather than the heaviest weight possible. Because if you do that, a lot of the time you'll have incorrect form. You will be building more strength than building muscle, which are two different things. And if your goal is to just build an aesthetic physique, then what you want to do is find the heaviest weight you can possibly lift for the exercise while also maintaining a good form. And make sure you focus on the eccentric motion as well, which is the going down motion. For example, if you're doing bicep curls, instead of just like doing, make sure you hold it, control, go up, go down slowly if you can. And that's a great way to increase tension. Put your muscles for time under tension, which massively amplifies the muscle building aspect of the exercise, because lifting heavy weights doesn't necessarily correlate to building muscle. Now, a little asterisk as well. Don't use this as an excuse to lift light weights. Of course not. You need to always lift weights that feel heavy, that are challenging, that kind of make you fucking question your own existence. Like, I see the two sides of the spectrum here. Some people just lift the heaviest weight they can, even when the form is incorrect, while others always go too light, too soft, too easy. So you need to find your own balance and use your gut instinct to go, okay, this is a weight that's clearly hard, it's challenging, it's more than what I have previously done. So I'm gonna do it with correct form and make sure I gotta focus on time and attention to choose your gut instincts, because like I said, this is especially important if your priority is to build an aesthetic physique and build muscle rather than just mindlessly lifting the heaviest weight possible. And the last point is to have a schedule, to have a routine. When starting out, just ask yourself, okay, what's the most number of days can I go, and how long realistically can I go every single day? Even if you start off by doing 3 days, half an hour a day, one exercise, and you slowly work your way up, that's fine. But like, have a schedule that you'll know you will stick to, that no matter what, this week I will do A, B, and C. Because A, this helps to build a habit, and B, it also helps to shift your identity as someone who goes to the gym as a fit person. Because if you're someone who goes to the gym like 3 to 4 days a week, every single week for a year, you're like, okay, cool, I'm doing the gym for a year. Yeah, I'm an athlete, I go to the gym. And of course, if you can, like I said previously, go every single day, but you need to have a schedule and go, no matter what, this is the minimum that I will do every single week when starting out. Now, if you have any questions about what I previously said, just feel free to leave a comment. Let's say this is a fairly brand new channel, so I'll easily be able to reply to you. If you feel like there's some value out of this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, but really helps me out. If you like some private coaching, some online training, or custom programs, feel free to email me at the first email in the description. Thank you for your time and attention. I value it a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.